people say, please run again. I said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people. People are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that.
That is the president, sworn to uphold the Constitution, who apparently has not yet read it. Corrupt merch salesman in chief Donald Joggers are now on sale. Trump is taking his merch game to new Constitution be damned levels by selling a Trump 2028 hat for $50 no less. And corrupt son in chief Eric Trump is posing with it on his Instagram story, reposted of course by the criminal Trump organization, America, F yeah. Running for a third term in the White House would violate, of course, the Constitution's 22nd Amendment, which says no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. That has not stopped popular MAGA figures from saying the president should try to run again. MAGA podcast host and sometimes Heil Hitlerer Steve Bannon said in a December speech, maybe we do it again in 28. And Toupee fiasco himself, Donald Trump, refused to rule out running for a third term when talking last month to meet the press moderator Kristen Welker, saying there are methods for doing so. You know, we're very popular. And you know, a lot of people would like me to do that. But I mean, I basically tell them we have a long way to go. We have a long way, it's very early in the administration, close quote. The thing I never seems to figure in his calculation is a little thing known, again, as the Constitution. I don't know why people allow him in their questioning to do this shift where they're talking about a constitutional prohibition and he goes, well, a lot of people like us. What's that got to do with the Constitution, bro? Right. Nobody will ever know. On the Trump store website, the description of the hat tells buyers they can make a statement by wearing it, which was a change from an earlier version of the shirt, which was promoted by Eric Trump on X a couple hours after the hat says, rewrite the rules underneath the Trump 2028 more overt call to create an exception for Trump to run again. Here's the hat, so unpleasant to see. Here's the shirt, even worse. But they're just kidding around. There's no actual plan. Or is there? Look at this video compilation.
I'm a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028. So I've already endorsed President Trump. A man like this comes along once every century if we're lucky. We've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
Trump's first term was technically stolen from him as well as his second. So if there's ever a man, I would argue, who deserves to have another term, it would be Donald Trump. Now, you could do the constitutional amendment way. You could do the President Trump running as vice president with JD Vance way, which would be quite unique and very, very interesting.
The Constitution does not permit President Trump to seek a third term, but constitutions do change. And my next guest, Tennessee Congressman Andy Ogles, has a proposed constitutional amendment that would allow President Trump to run again.
Lindsey Graham tweeted that Donald Trump's performance in the State of the Union was fantastic, and he concluded his tweet with Trump 2028.
I haven't said we're going to amend the Constitution. We're working on 5 or 6 different alternatives that President Trump could run again and be president. And quite frankly, I think 4 or 5 of them are going to work. And I continue to say, as I told Bill Maher, on the afternoon of January 20th of 2029, Donald Trump's going to be president for his third term.
Unless Barack Obama wins.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if it's open season, let's go. Let's go, Michael.
Yeah, this is absurd. It can be done. There are strict constitutionalists in the Republican Party. He's not going to be able to run, and if he wins, I mean, if he runs, he's not going to win because of that. I'm wrong about Donald Trump a lot. I'm right about this, and we'll have it on tape. It's just, you know, it's more of the circus. It's nothing matters. The Constitution doesn't matter. What a judge says should happen to somebody who was wrongfully detained doesn't matter. If you don't, if Donald Trump doesn't like a rule, he just says, "Oh, I don't know about that rule."
Yeah, I'm with Michael here. I think it's a joke to think that it would actually happen. But where I differ with a lot of people is I would welcome it. Like that would be honestly the death knell of their party, that they would allow this guy for the third time or the fourth time, really, to run again as he's 4 years older. He's already diminishing. We see that now. And the disaster that we've seen, his approval's just tanking. This first 3 months, this first 100 days have gone about as horribly as we could have possibly imagined. And basically 4 more years of this. If the Republicans really were like, the best thing we could do is run this guy again, after 4 more years of what we've seen in the three previous months, I would actually welcome it. And honestly, if the Democrats can't beat this guy, they don't deserve to be in power.
Well, I don't agree with that. They shouldn't have to beat this guy, though.
Yeah, and an argument could be made that whether or not they deserve it, we might not want the continued and finished erosion of what little shreds are left of our democracy. But Waz, I think you announcing here today that you will be Donald Trump's 2028 campaign.
It's exciting. That is exciting. They sort of the youth to counterbalance that what he said was diminishing. I think it's exciting. Yep. Congratulations.
And by the way, that's the funny thing too, with it, like, oh, maybe we get JD to run and Donald Trump be his running mate. That dude despises JD Vance, dude. Like, he wouldn't even come out and endorse this guy as a potential standard bearer for the MAGA movement.
Yeah.
The idea that Donald Trump would be subordinate to anybody in the Republican Party is laughable to me.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention just that, but also after JD Vance killed the Pope, I think Trump's not going to even be hanging around him very much.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Thank you.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.